everyone, and we are the presenters of Group 2. Today, we will be discussing about the market integration. So what is market integration? In the contemporary world, market integration is the process of fusing separate national or regional markets into a single, unified global market, allowing for the free flow of goods, services, and capital across borders, driven by technological advancement in transportation and communication and the removal of trade barriers. The market integrations aims to increase economic efficiency and growth by expanding markets for businesses and enabling greater specialization. So, the market integration is the process where different markets like the local, regional, or national become more interconnected and act as a single market. This is often achieved through the reductions of trade barriers, improved infrastructure, and harmonized regulations that leading to increased trade and investment flows. For example, the European Union, the World Trade Organization, and the ASEAN Economic Community. So, the European Union, this has created a single market that boosts economic growth and competitiveness, while the World Trade Organizations, it promotes the market integrations on global scale by setting rules for international trade and resolving trade disputes. It encourages countries to lower trade barriers and adopt fair trade practices, while the one of the ASEAN Economic Community, it aims to integrate the economics or the economies of Southeast Asian countries by reducing trade barriers and promoting investment and harmonizing regulations. So this enhances the region's competitiveness, attractiveness as an investment destination. Next is a Bretton Woods system. The Bretton Woods system was a post-World War II Earth International Monetary System that established in 1944 that created a framework for fixed exchange rates pegged to the US dollar, which was in turn convertible to gold. It led to the creation of the International Monetary Fund or the IMF and the World Bank to promote economic cooperation and stability. So, the system collapsed in 1971 when the US ended the dollar's convertibility to gold, that leading to abandonment of fixed exchange rates. So, the Bretton Woods system was established in 1944. It aimed to stabilize the post-World War II global economy that it fixed exchange rates to the US dollar, which was convertible to gold, and created the IMF or the World Bank to promote economic operations. So the system collapsed in 1971 when the US ended the dollar's convertibility to gold, that leading to floating exchange rates. So for example of this is the post-World War II reconstructions. So the World Bank provided loans to rebuild war-torn in Europe. So in order for them to continue the system, they need to reconstruct and also to rebuild what was the damage or the war torn in Europe. Next is the preventing currency devaluations. So the system aimed to prevent competitive currency to the US dollar, promoting stable trade. So, after the two world wars, world leaders sought to create a global economic system that would ensure a longer lasting global peace. So, they believed that one of the ways to achieve this goal is to set up a network or global financial institutions that would promote economic interdependence and prosperity. Thus, the Bretton Woods system was inaugurated in July 1944 at the Mount Washington Hotel in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire. So, a key factor in the depression was thought to be a lack of cooperation among nation states. The Bretton Woods system was largely influenced by the ideas of John Maynard Keynes. So, the Bretton Woods system was established in 1944 to promote global economic stability and peace. After the devastation of the World War II, the world leaders, influenced by by John Maynard Keynes' ideas sought to create a network of global financial institutions that would foster economic interdependence and prosperity among nations. So, the systems aim to prevent a future economic crisis that promote prosperity and leading to the creation of key institutions like the IMF or the International Monetary Funds and the World Bank. So by encouraging international cooperation and stability, so that the Bretton Woods systems played a significant role in shaping the modern global economy.
Good day everyone, my name is Junilis Maripusa Jr. from BTLEd Industrial Arts 3A. So, I will discuss the focus of Bretton Woods system. So, the following are the focus of Bretton Woods system. So, the first one is reducing trade barriers. Later, I will discuss the two different kinds of trade barriers. The second one is the free flow of money and investment. The movement of money and investment across borders are essential to economic development. The last one is the financial stability around the globe. It was crucial because it prevents economic crisis and promotes sustainable growth. Reducing trade barriers after World War II, we all know that there are many countries facing difficulties, hard to recover. That's why leading countries created the Bretton Woods system in order to reduce obstacles to international trade. It is crucial. Why? Because it helps the economic to recover. Free trade happens when trade barriers like tariffs and quotas are lifted, eliminated, or reduced. So, the free trade is the ideal scenario where goods and services can move easily between countries without artificial restrictions. So, when tariffs and quotas are lifted, eliminated, or reduced, the market can become more competitive and the price are set for demand and supply only. So let's talk about the two different kinds of trade barriers. The first one is the tariffs. So tariffs means taxes on imported goods. For example, this is an imported product. The price for this imported shirt is $25. So it become expensive when we add tariff. For example, the tariff is $5. The overall price for this is $30. Okay? So it becomes more expensive to the consumers. So the second one is the quotas. So it limits import quantities. So for example, the needed for this country is 1,000 sack of rice, 1,000 imported sack of rice, but ma-produce lang niya, mahatag lang niya sa sininga country is 500 only, 500 sacks only, and mahimo ni siya nga maging mahal ang price sa product because of the limited supply for that country. The impact of tariff and quotas, it lowered the prices for consumers and increases competition. That's all. Thank you.
Next, let's discuss about John Maynard Keynes' economics ideas. So before that, let's know who is John Maynard Keynes. So John Maynard Keynes, born in June 5 in 1883, died in April 21 in 1946, economist, known as the father of Keynesian economics, and also he is the economist lecturer at Cambridge University. So now let's delve into his economics ideas. So first, economic crises occur not when a country does not have enough money, but when money is not being spent and thereby not moving. Which means, ang problema sa ekonomiya is dili tungod walay kwarta ang isa ka bansa. Ang problema is ang money is wala galihok, wala ginagasto. Like walay gabakal, walay baligya, walay consumer, walay buyer, and seller. So the people not spending money. So when money stay in the banks or mga pockets kag wala nila ginabakal og goods and services, so ang mga businesses stop earning and the business will close so that the economy slow down. For example, the Philippines, Philippines, so the people of the Philippines is wala nagabakal og mga goods and services, wala mga produkto sa market and mall. So bisag damog kwarta ang isa ka sa bansa, so kung walay mga gabakal, so the economy slow down. So in conclusion, the kung dili sapat na may kwarta ang isa ka bansa. But of course, need nila nga need mo galaw ang kwarta so that the economy will rise. Next, second one is when economies slow down, governments have to reinvigorate. So reinvigorate means to give new energy and to strengthen or mag-strong markets with infusions of capital. So means na kung economy is muhina na siya, slow down siya, mga businesses and mga jobs are weak, so the government should spend money. So how? Paano makaspend ang government o kwarta para sa ekonomiya? Like building roads, schools, mga bridge. So to help the businesses and workers to earn again. So 'di ba kung mag-build og road ang ang country, may mga opportunities nagaabot ng mga obra like mga construction. So that ang mga tao so it puts money back into its circulation so people can buy and sell more. That's all.
In continuation, we will discuss the 5 key elements of Bretton Woods system. First, we need to define the Bretton Woods system. So Bretton Woods system was created or established in 1994 after World War II. It was designed to create a stable international monetary framework and to make trade easier between them to support global and economic recovery. So ang Bretton Woods system is a way or nag-create sang stable nga monetary to help make easier ang pag-trade sa monetary every countries. And also the Bretton Woods system is may ara policies or rules nga gina-follow sa every countries nga to avoid big problems sa ilang nga money values. The first key elements of Bretton Woods system is each participating state would establish a par value for its currency expressed in terms of gold or equivalently in terms of gold value of the US dollar as July 1994. Par value for currency, each country decided a fixed value for their money called a par value based on the gold value of the US dollar in July 1994. So par value means stated value or face value of a financial instrument. So ang par value kay for example, if one of the US dollar was worth 23.22 grains of gold, ang country's currency would be fixed to that value because ang sa par value is dirining away nga ang every currency sa countries is naka-fix na kag hindi na mag-change because nga for example mapatrade ka sa iban nga country ang ina nga amount is amo na siya hindi na sa mag-change. Okay, elements of Bretton Woods system is the official monetary authority in each country. A central bank or its equivalent would agree to exchange its own currency for those of other currencies at the established exchange rate. Exchange rates fixed by authorities, every country's central bank promised to exchange their money for other countries' money at the fixed rates they set. So, for example, if someone nga gusto magpa-trade sa ilang money sa other country, for example, sa Philippines, ang $1 sa US is equivalent to 50 pesos, pero if gusto sang isa ka or nag-trade is mataas pa sa 58, hindi na sa mag-change because diri sa exchange rate fix is naka-maintain or ginastidi nila ang ilang nga na set nga value sa isa ka currency or isa-isa ka country. The role of International Monetary Fund was created to help every countries keep their exchange rates steady. Yes, there is a IMF kay ginahelp ang every country nga ma-maintain ang ina nga fixed value. And when a country's money value becomes unstable, for example, if their currency drops suddenly, the IMF can lead that country money to help stabilize their currency. This way, economies don't collapse and trading remains fair and stable. Yes, kay diri ang IMF kay sila ni ang gabulig, for example, ang ara kamo sa ital-ital inyong money, pwede ni siya makapahulam nga mabalik ang inyong money to ara na siya sa stable kag naka-remain na fair or naka-remain na ang currency nga dira sa inyo nga country or ang money value sa inyo nga country.
Bright day, everyone. I am J&B Kenya, and this is the continuation of the 5 key elements of the Bretton Woods system. Number 4. The member states agreed to eliminate, at least eventually, all restrictions on the use of its currency for international trade. So this means countries agree that their money should be allowed to be used freely for buying and selling goods with other nations. So, before, some countries did not allow their money to leave their borders or restricted how much could be exchanged. By removing these restrictions, international trade became easier because businesses and governments could pay each other directly with their own currencies. So, for example, if the Philippines wants to buy machines from Japan, if restrictions were in place, the Philippines might first need to convert pesos into US dollars before paying Japan. But if restrictions are removed, the Philippines could pay directly in pesos and Japan could exchange them freely. This makes trade faster and less complicated. Number 5. The entire system was based on the US dollar. The US agreed to make the dollar convertible to other currencies at a fixed value. The dollar became the global currency. So, this refers to the Bretton Woods system after World War II. Countries needed a stable system for trade and finance. So, the US dollar was chosen because the US economy was strong and trusted. So the US promised to exchange dollars for gold at a fixed rate, so other countries felt secure holding dollars. This made the dollar the main international currency. So, for example, think of the US dollar like a common language. Even if people from different countries speak different languages, they can all use English to understand each other. In the same way, even though countries had different currencies, they all used the US dollar as the common money for trade because everyone trusted it and it could be exchanged for gold.
So when we say economic growth, it means that increase in the production sa mga goods and services sa economy over period of time. So it's simpler terms nga when a country's economy gets bigger because it produces more and people earn and spend more. So, a general agreement on tariffs and trade was created in 1947 as a part of the effort of rebuild the world economy after World War II. So, ang main purpose was promote para sa free and fair international trade. So, this protectionism ga-backfired para mag-lead ang trade and maobra ang global economic crisis even worse. So, got helped by opening markets, increasing export, and creating opportunities para mapadali ang growth sa isa ka
economy. So, these rules made international trade para mas stable, fair, and predictable. So, God's goal was to stop ang mga countries nga magpataas sang tariffs against sa each other. So, tariff is mga taxes between sa every countries. Like mag-export ka or mag-import sa every product. So, in today's example, ang US and China trade war. So, ang buyers go up tariffs on goods like sa mga steel, aluminum, and electronics. So, ang both economics is may mga tariffs if magpasulod sila sang every product sa isa kag isa. So, amo na nakabulik ang GATT para sa ila. And also, for example, when we buy smartphones, so it is part of them sa kundiin halin sa mga different countries. Like for example, ang chips sa Taiwan, and ang nag-design is US, ang nag-assemble is Vietnam. So, ang ini nga global supply like in chain is possible tungod sa trade rules nga ga-start sa GATT. So, ang GATT is nag-made across border trade para mag-easier ang transactions. So, in simple words, ang GATT ging obra para ma-stop ang destructive trade wars kag ma-encourage ang recovery sang every economy kag para makaobra sang global trade fair sa lessons that still make in today's world. So the next is World Trade Organizations or WTO. So multilateral organizations with 152 members nations. So is centered around trade and economic globalizations. It operates on the new liberal principles that all nations benefits from free, open trade and aiming to eliminate trade barriers. So, World Trade Organizations established some 1995. So, it is a multilateral organization nga ga-serve sa main body sa government through international trade. So, it grows out of the General Agreement sa Tariff and Trade or GATT and currently has over 150 member nations. So, ang main purpose and rules ng World Trade Organization is ma-centered on trade and economic globalization. So, it operates on the neoliberal principles that all nations can benefit from free and open trade. So, it is primary goal is ma-eliminate ang trade barriers like sa mga tariffs, sa quota, kag para ma-ensure ang fair kag predictable rules para sa global commerce. And also, ga-provide sila sa dispute settlement mechanism para makabulik sa nations nga ma-resolve ang trade conflict peacefully. Like for example, sa lower trade barriers, ang agreements under sa WTO pwede na ma-reduce ang tariff sa mga products like cars, mga electronics, and agricultural goods para makaobra sila sa damo nga mga affordable and accessible worldwide. So, sa globalizations of trade, so membership in the WTO allows nga mag-develop ang mga countries like for example India, ang Vietnam para ma-expand ang ilang exports and participation kag madamo ang actively in global trade networks. So, ang World Trade Organization is ga-play siya sang vital rules para ma-promote ang economic globalizations. So, by encouraging free trade, reducing sa trade barriers, and resolving sa mga disputes. So, its foundations on neoliberal principles nga mag-reflect sa belief kag mag-open ang markets benefits sa tanan nga nations by fostering sa growth, cooperation, and stability in the global economy.
Good day everyone, my name is Priya Gabrielu, and today I will be discussing about the International Monetary Funds or the IMF. The IMF was created in 1944 and begun in 1945. Its main purpose is to keep the world's economy stable. If the World Bank focuses on the projects, the IMF or the International Monetary Fund focuses on money and financial stability. What does the IMF or the International Monetary Funds do? First, it monitors exchange rates and trade between the countries so that money keep its value. The second, it lends money to countries overseas. Just for example, if a country cannot pay its debts or does not have enough money to buy goods from other countries, the IMF or the International Monetary Fund can give them financial support. Lastly, it advises the governments on how to improve their economy and avoid bigger problems in the future. In simple words, the IMF or the International Monetary Fund is like a doctor for a country's economy. When a country has a financial sickness, the IMF or the International Monetary Funds checks the problems and gives them advice and leads money to help it recover. So that's why the IMF or the International Monetary Fund is very important. It helps countries remain stable so the world economy does not collapse. That's all, thank you.
World Bank, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, IBRD is the most important element of World Bank Group. It was established in 1944 and began operating in 1948. It was originally responsible for funding post-war construction and projects. It was a critical institution at a time when many of the world's cities had been destroyed by the war. At present, it now deals with a broad range of issues related to economic development, including population, education, health, social security, environment, and culture.